What's going on, y'all? It's Rob with Cinema Bullies. I'm going to talk about something that one of my subscribers commented on my post about my most watched video that has over 2 million views, which is a AI educational video that I did with my one female mimic about 2 years ago now, or a little bit over 2 years. And I get a lot of positive input, and I also get a lot of Karens and a lot of people that think what I'm doing is wrong to the dog. People that don't understand the world of breeding, don't realize that most domesticated animals, especially in zoos, that won't breed naturally because they are in captivity, they get artificially inseminated. And I don't see people, having issues with that kind of stuff because they don't know. But even with horses, thoroughbreds, they're not going to risk their dogs getting hurt to try to reproduce when you have something that's high value. Now, he did bring up, the subscriber that commented brought up something that I wanted to speak on that I really haven't, and it's an opinion that also has facts behind it. And there's going to be a lot of Karens on this video, and I can't wait to see what you guys say. But I am a firm believer in not adopting dogs. Especially when you have small children. Now, do I think adoption is a good thing? Yes. I don't think that these dogs should get put down because their owners were pieces of shit, or they had unseen circumstances that were that made them unable to keep their dog. But especially with children, you should never adopt a dog, especially an adult dog. Now, I'm going to name some reasons why. And number one is you have a very high probability of that dog one day attacking your child. Now, is it always the case? No. But there is a very high probability that that will happen. Reasons: you don't know what that dog has been through. You don't know if that dog was abused. You don't know what blood is in that dog, especially a lot of dogs in shelters are mutts. You don't know, if children were mean to that dog. You don't know that dog's, what triggers that dog. So there's a lot of different variables that come into it, where if your child does something to this dog that it does not like, there's a high probability that dog is going to attack your child. As an adult, you should be able to defend yourself from a dog. But there are also people that can't defend themselves from dogs or anything in that matter. So I highly recommend you don't adopt a dog if you're one of those people that are afraid to or think it's wrong to defend yourself from something that's attacking you. Now, that being said, like I said, you don't know what these dogs are mixed with. Everyone knows highest probability of a dog attacking you, breed type, is usually a pit bull. It's in their genetics, it's in their blood. They were bred to fight. They were bred to compete. Now, decades and decades of inbreeding and line breeding these dogs causes mental issues with these dogs. And that was done, extremely heavy in the 1900s all the way to the early 2000s, because they wanted the perfect game dogs to compete and win. Now, that's in some of these mutts lineage, because you don't know what's in it. There could be pit bull. Another high probability dog that's going to attack your kid, that can, is Rotties, Cane Corsos, Shepherds. I got bit by 2 Shepherds growing up. Boxers, and Bulldogs, Dobies. There's certain dogs that are not afraid to bite if they're threatened or provoked. Now, if you adopt a dog and it has any of those dogs in its lineage, you don't know what traits carried forth through that dog's generations of its ancestry. Now, having a dog as a puppy to an adult is a lot safer and different. Not saying that dog could also, for some reason, attack your kid or attack you. There's a possibility, but that's why you, as an owner, need to train your dog appropriately, and make sure it's socialized correctly. Make sure that it is non-aggressive towards your children. And if so, proper steps need to be taken. Obedience training. I'm a firm believer. I do like the electric collars. I've found with time that that's one of the best ways to train dogs, which is why most canines are trained with electric collars. Because eventually, after the shock part is, in their minds, that when the shock collar makes a noise, they're going to get shocked. You switch it to vibration, you switch it to a beep, and then you don't got to shock the dog no more. The dog knows. But when the dog misbehaves or does something that's not supposed to do, then you shock it, and then it snaps it back to reality, like, not to do that. So, me, when I was breeding dogs, which I don't really do now, but when I was kind of involved in this bully world community, as puppies, I would play with them roughly. I would pull their ears, pull their tails, play with their lips, stick my hand in the food bowl when they're eating. I'd bite them in their face, in their ears, their cheeks, their lips. I would antagonize them to the point they would react. And a lot of the times they didn't react, but there were a few that would bite back, and then I would have to, check them, and I would be more aggressive to them and, in a sense, dominate them to the fact that they knew, okay, he's alpha, he's daddy, he's dad, we're not beating him, so that they submit. Now, I've never had any of my dogs in the past, since I've had dogs, really. But in the past, 6 years that I've had bullies, not one of my dogs ever attacked any of my kids or even bit them accidentally. Sometimes they've growled when it came to like real bones. Like they are still, food is a touchy area with dogs, especially when it's a pack oriented, household where there's multiple dogs. They think they're a pack, so they eat their food faster. They're more food aggressive because they think that the other dogs are going to take their food. So that's all stuff that you got to think if you have multiple dogs. But this all comes down to how you train your dogs and what you understand and what you know was in your dogs. Like, I know what's in my dogs. They're bullies. They got bulldog blood. They got pit bull blood. They got Amstaff blood. And who knows? There could be some other stuff in there. But that's the 3 bloods I know that are in my dogs. And 2 of the dogs that are in there have the highest bite ratio percentage out of all the breed types. Yet none of my dogs bite nobody. And honestly, my dogs aren't even cat aggressive, people aggressive, or dog aggressive. So that comes down to who you are as a dog owner and how much time and effort you're going to put into training your dog. And as I said, adopting a dog as an adult, that dog is already programmed how it's going to be. It's very, very highly unlikely you're going to change the way that dog thinks and that way that dog acts from past trauma or just how it was brought up. So, that being said, Karens, jump on here. I'd love to see what you guys had to say. And guys that, think they know stuff. But I've been around dogs, for 30 years. I've been around game dogs for 20. About 20 years. More than 20. 25 years? So, I got fair experience, as a kid dealing with dogs that were actually, game dogs. And even then, I never got bit by any of my game dogs, and my father had 15 of them. And I never got bit. So, that being said, don't adopt dogs unless you are a single person or you're an adult and you live with adults. No small children, unless you want to put their life at risk, because some of these dogs can kill your kid. Most of them can. And you might think it's all good until you hear your kid screaming in the backyard with the dog shaking and dragging them across the yard. Then you'll watch this video and you'll thank me. And you'll say, wow, that guy was right. He's actually not an asshole. Because at the end of the day, they're still dogs. They're still animals. And you need to be the responsible owner and handle things correctly. And I don't think adoption's the way. I think you buy your dog as a puppy, you raise it with your family, and it's a family member. It's not even an animal at that point. And that's how your outlook should be. And this is my opinion. You don't agree with it, that's cool. If you do, cool. Comment below. Let me know what you guys think about what I said. And hope to hear some responses. And like I said, I'm not done breeding, but I am falling back, a lot. I got some stuff coming up in the near future. And I will post videos when that time is coming. And until then, just stay tuned in. And follow on Instagram, Cinema Bullies. And I also have the Facebook also at Cinema Bullies. And I believe it has NJ at the end, _NJ. So, like I said, stay tuned in. And hope this helped you guys out. And I hope people listen. All right. Take care, guys. Bye.